name's Robin and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video will be talking about the first two conditions that I ever got diagnosed with. These were diagnosed in February of 2011 when I was 21 years old, and I feel it's apt to start with these because they link very nicely to my channel name of Life Undiagnosed, and that is because these two conditions are classed as congenital birth defects and are apparent from the day you were born, and it took me 21 years to get these diagnosed. But to be fair to the NHS and the hospitals I've been treated at, there was a lot less known about these conditions when I was a baby, and that is why I went so long without getting help. But yeah, the conditions are Hemifacial Microsomia and Microtia. I will start with Hemifacial Microsomia because that sort of encompasses Microtia as well. So yeah, Hemifacial Microsomia is the second most common syndrome after Down syndrome, and it is the second most common facial defect after cleft palate. Hemifacial microsomia basically is a deformity and underdevelopment of the lower part of the face. So it includes your ears, your nose, your sinuses, your like your eyes sometimes, as well as your jaw and your trachea and things like that. I have a very mild form of hemifacial microsomia. There are others that have it a lot worse than me. It is a very, very, very mild form of Treacher-Collins syndrome. I only bring this up because more people have probably heard of Treacher-Collins syndrome than hemifacial microsomia, because there's been a lot more in like TV shows that you see on like Channel 4 about it. But yeah, the way it affects me is that I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on the video, but my jawline on this side is completely different to the jawline on that side, because my jaw didn't form correctly on my right side. My hemifacial microsomia is focused on my right side. It can be either side or both. Mine is my right side. So my jawline is underdeveloped on this side. I have a deformed ear on this side, which is Microtia, which I'll talk about more later. As well as the underdeveloped jaw, I have an overbite. I have congenitally missing teeth, which are baby teeth with no adult teeth underneath. I have a slight squint in my eyes. I have pretty much no bottom lip when I'm speaking normally or my face is being held normally. I also have a lisp because of my jaw and the overbite and all that. I went through 6 years of braces and 4 very painful tooth extractions to try and correct the damage that hemifacial microsomia has caused in my jawline and all that stuff, and it didn't work, and I was basically sort of given up as a lost cause. I could go and have it corrected now, but it would involve major surgery, breaking and resetting my jaw to expand it, going back and having braces again, and it's not something that I really want to go through. A lot of people won't realise that I have this condition because it's not well known and people don't know what they're looking for. So a lot of people just kind of assume that I've got a weird, very asymmetrical, ugly face, rather than knowing that I have a mild form of Treacher-Collins syndrome. But it's one of those things that needs awareness spreading about it, because people don't know about it, and then when you do tell them, they kind of think, oh well, it's a cosmetic thing, it's fine, you're beautiful, blah blah blah. But it's not. I mean, it affects some aspects of your health, like I can't eat certain foods or bite into certain foods because it's too painful. I sometimes have breathing problems because of how my jaw sits. because of the condition, all my sinuses are a lot smaller and narrower than normal people's. So when I get colds, I'm prone to sinusitis. My sinuses get badly inflamed. I get pressure headaches and all that kind of stuff. And anytime my hay fever or my allergies are playing up, my sinuses just swell shut, and I'm very poorly. It's not a fun thing to deal with. But yeah, so that's all I really have to say on Hemifacial Microsomia. Apart from, I was going to say statistics. It usually affects 1 in every 3,500 to 4,500 births, and its cause has been narrowed down to the fact that it's believed that early on in gestation, about 4 weeks, something will cause blood flow to be cut off to the fetus, and that will stop the face developing properly. So in my case, there's 2 points that it could have happened. One was when my mum fell down the stairs when she was pregnant with me, or there was the fact that she had a threatened miscarriage very early on. So it does fit with what happened during my mum's pregnancy with me. So yeah, next is Microtia, and this is sort of the bigger story, and this is the one that I sort of focus on more because just because of my story around it. I'm really sorry though, I'm gonna have to move because my foot has gone numb. So Microtia, translated from Greek, literally means small ear, and it is a deformity of the ear. There are 4 different grades. 1 is a very minor deformity, 2 is a more obvious deformity, 3 is a severe deformity where the majority of the ear is missing. Usually you'll end up with just a peanut-shaped skin graft, and 4 is there's just nothing. They might have a little tiny skin tag down here, but that's it. From grade 1 to 4, as you go down, the hearing loss increases as the size of the ear canal decreases. Every 1 in 8 to 10,000 births is affected by Microtia. It is more common in boys than girls. It affects the right side more than the left side, and it can either be unilateral, which is 1 ear, or bilateral, which is 2 ears. I have unilateral stage or grade 2 Microtia. When I was born, the doctors didn't know what it was. Simple as that. They kind of just, they told my mum that I must have been lay funny in the womb, and that's why my ear looked like it did. So, you can understand why it took a long time to get help. I went through 3 rather painful operations, all of which failed, between the ages, when I was 3, 11 and 13 I had these operations. After the operation when I was 13, the plastic surgeon specialist turned around and said they can't do it anymore, they can't fix it, that's it, I've got to live with it. So I did, and I lived with it from the age of 13 until I was 21. I lived with the bullying, I lived with the horrible comments, the rude questions, people telling me it was disgusting, it was weird, people making up stories about what happened to it. I put up with not being able to wear my glasses, being able to wear sunglasses when it's like sunny outside because it was too painful, and I just sort of carried on. But then I remember seeing like a medical program in America, and there was a girl on the show who had the same condition as me, and they treated it. So I thought, well, I got told there was nothing they could do. So I thought, you know what, sod this, I'm gonna go and get it sorted. So 2011, when I was 21, I went to my local GP at uni, asked them to refer me to a surgeon, which they did. the surgeon I saw, like, literally straight away looked at my ear and said that he's like, I've got a friend in London who specialises in ear deformities in adults and correcting failed surgeries. Like, you'd be a perfect candidate, like, to see him. So I got referred to London, and I went and I saw the specialist, and he looked at my ear and he said, you have Hemifacial Microsomia and Microtia, and that is the first time I could put a name to what was wrong. And it's the weirdest feeling, because finally when people ask those questions, I could actually have an answer, say, yes, this is what is wrong, this is why it looks like this. So he told me that he could correct it, and the way they do it is, what they do is they take, it's called a rib graft implant. So what they do is they take some of the cartilage from between your ribs, and sorry, my leg's so badly numb. Yeah, they take, there we go. Yeah, so they take some cartilage from between your ribs. They go and you make it like an inch long incision and take the cartilage out, and then literally using what looks like tools that your dad would have in his toolbox, they sculpt and mould this piece of cartilage into the shape of what's missing in your ear. So say you've got no ear, they'll literally create an entire new ear out of cartilage. Or with me, in my case, they created half an ear out of cartilage. And then what they do is they, it's hard to explain. Let's see if I can get in and show you. Like, what they do is they cut a skin pocket where they slip the cartilage in, and then they like stitch it all together with the ear. And then once they've done that, they leave that like flat against the skull all stitched together for 6 months, and then they take another skin, they take a skin graft from your thigh and basically cut around where it was stitched to your skull, and then put the skin on the back like to cover the cartilage, and then hey presto, you've got a brand new ear and it looks absolutely amazing. And so I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. I wanted it to get fixed for years. I'm so self-conscious about it. I never wear my hair up. Like, I just feel it's completely destroyed my confidence. So I had the first stage, but unfortunately I couldn't have the second stage because my partner and I couldn't afford to go to London, afford to take the time off work and all that kind of stuff. I do hope to one day have the second stage done, but at the moment I'm happy with how it is at the moment. So I had the surgery in February of 2011. The operation took 8 hours, and I'm really sorry if you can hear snoring in the background. Like 2 of my 3 dogs were just asleep next to me because they're whiny babies and have to be with me. Yeah, the operation took 8 hours, and then I was in hospital for 3 days afterwards before I was allowed home. I had to have all sorts of drains sticking out of the back of my ear that basically suction the skin flat against the implant. It's literally like vacuum forming it. Like, that was like the weirdest sensation ever. I mean, this is my normal ear, so you can see what that looks like. And then this is my Microtia ear. Like, unfortunately, like here, it's a bit hairy because obviously it's under my scalp, so like it's where my hair grows from naturally. But as you can kind of see, it's like up here and around here. It's kind of shaped like an elf ear, but that's where all the implant is. So like all the bit above my finger is reconstructed, and the bottom bit is where they've sort of used my own ear to mould it into shape. But it looks really good. It doesn't stick out like my regular ear, but I mean, like, I can wear glasses. My glasses actually sit on it, and that's kind of what I cared about. I mean, like, before I had all like this operation, my ear literally looked like that. It was all scrunched over and horrible. It looked like a weird gnarled up little pasta shell. Yeah. Would advise to be prepared for the pain for anybody that has microtia, that is considering the surgery. The pain isn't from your ear, it's from your rib cage. I mean, the amount that they do, like the amount of trauma created on the ear from this surgery, it literally kills all the nerve endings in your ear, and you cannot feel a thing, like, at all. I mean, a perfect example was that when I went to have my stitches checked, there was a small bit of cartilage just here, which is why I've got my little elf bit there. There's a bit of cartilage poking out that wasn't covered by skin, and so the consultant wanted to cut it away with a scalpel and then stitch the skin back in place. And he did that without anaesthetic, and I didn't feel a thing. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced. Like, I could hear him like cut through it, and I could hear the pop as the needle went through with like the stuff they stitch you up with, and I could not feel a thing. However, your ribs, it is ridiculous. I mean, the first time I got up to go to the toilet after I'd had the surgery, I literally cried because I couldn't push the flush on the toilet because I hurt that much. I mean, I probably didn't poo for like a week because I was in that much pain. I just like laid in bed. It was horrific. And your cartilage doesn't grow back, so technically you're in recovery from the cartilage aspect of the surgery for 5 years, because like it can cause your ribs to dislocate and all this like crazy stuff. So I think, yeah, I've finally beat the 5-year mark, so I can lift heavy objects again. But yeah, it like, despite the pain, it was worth it. Because a lot of people don't understand. They think that microtia is just a cosmetic thing. They don't understand like little things like the fact that I couldn't wear my glasses before. They don't understand the psychological effect of it. Like, I have body dysmorphic disorder because of my ear, because people like bullies would point it out and use it as a point of making fun of me. So like, it was something I was very insecure about, and people don't get that unless they've been through it. They don't understand how much it can affect you and why I'd go through surgery to get it corrected. But you know, there's all these little aspects of it that people aren't aware of. I mean, like, after the 3 failed operations that I had, it literally got to the point where the top of my ear, the scar tissue and the skin was so thin and delicate because they'd pretty much butchered my ear that I couldn't wear glasses or headbands, anything that put pressure remotely near it, because it would tear the skin, and then I'd get these disgusting lesions. It would bleed. It was horrific. But no, you know, people don't realise that, and people don't know. I mean, I don't regret having the surgery. You know, it was my choice, and if people want to judge me for it, that's absolutely fine. But my main aim is just getting awareness out there and sharing my story. I used to be part of a lot of support groups on Facebook for microtia, and when I first joined them, I was all like, yeah, I'm going to help these people out. I'm going to share my experience as somebody with microtia and tell people what surgery is like, so they know what it's like for their kids and what they're putting their kids through and all this stuff. I thought I had this really great point of view and I could help loads of people, but it turned out that the parents in these groups were just like dead set that parents of other children with microtia were the be all and end all of knowledge for it, because, you know, they're a parent and it's their kid, but they never seemed to grasp that what I had to say was probably more valuable because I could tell you what it would be like from your child's point of view, rather than somebody who has a kid that has it. And I just got sick of that. I mean, I want to like spread awareness and help people, but I can't deal with like people that think they know better than somebody that actually has the condition. And the other thing that bugged me was like there are a lot of people that kind of sit there and say, oh my god, my child's got a deformed ear, oh my god, it's the end of the world, I have to claim disability, I'm going to assume that everything that's wrong with my kid is related to microtia. If they cry, it's microtia. If they've got like a cold, it's microtia. I'm going to wrap them in bubble wrap and I'm going to basically make it okay for them to use microtia as an excuse for everything. And that really bothers me because I'm sat here recording this video, I've got an amazing job, I've got a degree, I've got a fiance, I've got a mortgage, a home, you know, I've done really well for myself. And like, I'm kind of living proof that even with the problems it causes, I'm still successful. I've still made a good living for myself. I mean, like, I have no directional hearing. Like, I mean, I literally, if someone isn't directly in front of me and they speak and they say my name, I have no perception of where that is coming from because of microtia. Like, that's my type of hearing loss. I mean, like, I have general hearing loss, so if someone's speaking quietly, I most of the time don't hear them, so I do come across as quite rude, so I do apologise about that. It's like, I can't tell where sounds are coming from, which it can be quite dangerous. I mean, it sucks when I'm trying to cross the road and I hear a car engine, but I don't know where it's coming from, so I kind of just freeze. But it's like, that, like, parents with kids that have that, they're like, oh my god, I've got to get them hearing aids, they've got to have special classes, they need to go to a deaf school. I'm like, no, they don't. Let them be normal children. It's like, these conditions, I've been through all the shit that you can with them, the surgeries, the harassment, the bullying, the people not understanding, like the endless explaining to people. And yeah, a lot of that sucked, but it helped me grow as a person. It helped me get more confidence, and like, it helped me to learn that instead of getting upset by what people say, educate them. And, you know, that's what I wanted to do, and that's kind of not what people really want. I mean, I used to have really, like, not famous, but I had a blog about microtia. It's probably still up there. It's called Robin's Microtia Journey. And I mean, that was up to like 100,000 views when I stopped using it. I got lots of emails from people saying they'd help me. I got featured in Take a Break magazine, got £400 for that, you know. And I really wanted to help people and to spread awareness and let people know about Microtia and Hemifacial Microsomia. And like, support groups weren't the place to do that. So it's kind of one of the reasons I'm doing this video, is sort of just to talk about what it's like and the ways it affects me and things like that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. In the box down below, I will leave links to the blogs that go along with this video. On those blogs there will be a lot of useful links, so if you do have microtia and you've stumbled across my video, there are lots of links there of like web pages that have got information like Great Ormond Street, all that kind of stuff, as well as a YouTube link to how the surgery's performed and things like that. So please check them out if you're interested. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and like, sorry, I'm so bad at the ending bit, but yeah, and hopefully see you next week with my next video. And just before I go, because I said my dogs were sleeping, look at Sleepy Bolin. Look at him. He's my sleepy baby. And he's been on my knee, snoring and listening. So Bolin says bye-bye. Bye.